This is a test. This is only a test. This thing is not staying with me. What the hell? Okay, so today is an awesome day. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on in my life today. I'm feeling like I'm being rewarded from God. And he kind of showed me the power of the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking and the power of believing and receiving. When I met Lenny Kravitz, this was back in February 25th, 2012, to be exact. That was 7 years ago, okay? And when I met him, he was such a profound spirit. Like, I felt so connected to him when I met him. I think this is probably one of the weirdest things, is that not only did I meet him, met his family, it was like this crazy whole thing that happened. And honestly, I've never really talked about it on video, so I kind of feel weird about it. But I guess I should just explain what happened and talk about how the law of attraction brought me to meet one of my idols, somebody I just adore and think is a musical genius. And he's just a genius in general. Like, and he paints the picture of beauty, if that makes any sense to anyone. Like, literally, this man is so gorgeous, so smart, so attractive, so kind, so giving, and he's so creative. Like, the things he comes up with, amazing. Just the talent is just, there's no other person like him in my mind. Anyway, so let me talk about what happened when I used the law of attraction to manifest my dreams. So, this is what happened. Back in 2012, I had just started doing like positive affirmations. I was really in a sick period in my life. I had endometriosis, and I was having like a lot of abdominal pain. Just research endometriosis and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's horrible. I don't even want to get into it because that's a negative thing. Let's talk about positive things. So I was trying to find things to make me happy. So I found like law of attraction videos, and I started eating healthier. I started doing better things for my mind, body, and spirit, right? So as I'm doing that, in my mind, I many years before, I had loved Lenny Kravitz songs, but not to the point where I was obsessed playing them all the time and connecting with his spirit as I listened to the music, right? So the crazy thing that happens in my life is I start connecting with his words one day when I was feeling really bad. I was going through a breakup and I was feeling horrible. My grandmother had just passed away, and her and I were incredibly close. She died of cancer, and it was a painful death. It was hard for me to be at her bedside when, she was at the end of her life, so I was there by her side all the time. Just thinking about it tears me and chokes me up. So let's not go there. Let's talk about the power of positive thinking and the law of attraction. And just me reaffirming that I deserved better, right? So it wasn't only because of the breakup. It wasn't only because I lost my grandmother. It wasn't only because I was there to help her through hospice and taking care of her through cancer treatments and all that, and dealing with endometriosis and having my own surgery and my own recovery. Because just because you have surgery doesn't mean that you're done. You're not out of the woods. You still have a long time. I'm talking a year of recovery after endometriosis surgery and pain. I'm just telling you. If you haven't experienced and you know nothing about it, do some research. It sucks. It's one of the worst things a woman has to endure and go through. It is horrible. But anyway, the positives that came out of all the pain that I was facing at that time in my life, that really heart-wrenching time where I felt like I was falling apart. Everything in my life was just going to crap. I mean, everything. I started listening to his music. I started connecting with who he was. I was connecting to I felt like I was connecting to his heart, his spirit. It was weird, through his music, because I felt like he understood what I was going through. I don't know why. That was in my head. But anyway, so I go and I buy tickets to one of his shows because I start listening to his music and connect. And it was in South Beach at the Fillmore. Again, this is back in 2012. And I bought like the nosebleed section seats. They weren't very expensive. I bought them and I just said, I really want to meet Lenny Kravitz. I've connected with him. I feel like I love him on this spiritual, loving level because I respect who he is as a person and what he is about. The message of love that he spreads and the happiness. If you ever heard Lenny Kravitz laugh or smile, it's infectious. Like, you do the same thing. You find yourself laughing and smiling. He's just so charismatic. He's amazing. I can't speak any highly of him any more than what I already am. But it was weird. I just started feeling this every day, building up to the concert, and I would feel this. I'm going to meet him. I'm going to meet Lenny Kravitz. Then I started watching more Law of Attraction videos, and I said, you know what? I might as well just put it out there. I'm going to meet Lenny Kravitz. I'm going to go backstage, and that is that. This is the first time I'm going to his concert, and this is what's going to happen. I said, I'm going to look my very best because when I meet him, I want him to see me like dressed up. I don't care that it's a rock concert and most people don't do that. I'm doing it, right? So I did my hair, did my nails, makeup, full on glam, right? I wore this dress that was beautiful and it had like these jewels on the end. Oh my God, I was gorgeous, right? Beautiful. High heels, the whole thing, right? I felt so beautiful and I felt so happy, especially after going through so much tragedy and adversity and sickness. And then the greatest thing happens. I get to the concert, right? And I keep speaking positive. And my coworkers at the time, I was working at a radio station, kept saying, hell no, you're not going to meet him. You're just obsessed with his music. That's just a dream. Get over it, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, hell no, I know I'm going to meet this man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a picture with him and I'll send it to you when it happens. And they're like, you're crazy. Look at your seats. They're in the nosebleed section. That's not happening, dude. And I said, let me just tell you right now, it's happening. I don't care what you say. I know it's going to happen. And I just knew it. I don't know how I knew it. I just knew it. So I get to the concert. And sure as shit, I have nosebleed section seats. And I'm like, dang it, this is sucky. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to pop it and lock it with the best of them. I am going down to meet this man. And that is that. No one could tell me differently. And I was there by myself, mind you. Okay? Because that's the only way I feel like things happen is because I put my positive vibe, my positive energy on it. And then boom, it happens, right? So I go down to the VIP section, the guys checking tickets, checking wristbands, all this shit. Well, these hoity-toity people are in a group, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to act like I'm with them. They're never going to know. They're never going to check me. So the guy's talking to these women and he's da-da-da-da. And he doesn't even notice. I sneak past. I go. I'm in VIP. I hang out with these people. They don't even know me. They don't know shit about me. They must think I'm supposed to be there, but I was not supposed to be there. And I am right up front in VIP, right? I'm in VIP. Well, actually, there's like 2 VIPs, but I was like at this one, and then there's one more, right? A little closer to the stage. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fucking awesome. And in my head, I was so nervous. I could hear my heart beating, just thump, 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 thumping away, right? And I'm like, oh my God, how did this just happen? I couldn't even believe it. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to finally meet him. It's really coming true. I believed it even more, right? The feelings were just like even more, like they were even stronger, right? So I go, I'm having fun. Music has started. He's come out. I'm flipping out because I see Lenny and he's like right there. I'm like, I literally can't believe this is happening, right? So then I'm listening to music and someone taps me on my shoulder and I'm like, what the hell? And I just ignore it because I'm like, oh God, it's going to be some skeezy guy who's trying to get with me, and I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? I'm here to see my man, Lenny Kravitz. I am here to enjoy this time because, as I told you, all those other things were happening in my life, and I felt like I needed a break. You know, I needed something happy to look forward to. So I did. So I was really happy. And then the guy does it again, and then he whispers in my ear, but obviously I can't hear crap. We're at a rock concert, y'all. Like, seriously, it's loud. It's crazy. Nobody can hear shiz. Anyway, so he's like, I'm Lenny's cousin. I'm like, yeah, right. So am I. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whatever. I blow the guy off, right? So he's like, he keeps trying to get my attention, and I can't really understand him, but that's what I think I'm hearing him say. And then Lenny starts playing a softer song, and the guy goes back in my ear, and his name was Sam. That's Lenny's cousin. And his name is Sam Roker, you know, Al Roker, Sam Roker, all those guys. Anyway, so it's Lenny's cousin, and he's like, oh my gosh, don't you want to meet, or no, he goes, don't you know that's my cousin Lenny? And I say, yeah, right, prove it. And he's like, well, look, I have all the VIP passes. I go, if you have all this, I said, then let's go up front closer. He goes, okay, come on, let's go. And I go, really? And he said, yes, really. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm going to go even closer. I'm like at the closest point to Lenny, right? So we move even closer. All right, so there's the stage, and then there's this platform that's out, right? Lenny starts walking on the platform, and he comes out playing with his guitar. And to prove, this is what's crazy, to prove that this was his cousin, this is the universe, this is God showing me, this is proof, right? Lenny's playing the guitar and literally hands Sam the pick, just gives it to him. And he goes, see, I told you, that's my cousin Lenny. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out, right? Then once everything's all said and done and the concert's over, I said, can we go backstage? Can I go with you? Can I meet him? He's like my idol. I have dreamt of this moment. And he said, of course, yes, of course. My family's here. Yes, we can go meet him. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, just give it a few minutes. We go backstage. I meet like tons of his family. They were just all hanging out backstage. They were having almost like a family reunion, but they weren't upstairs in his dressing room yet, right? Which I thought was so crazy. I was like, I can't believe I get to have this moment. It was so beautiful. It was bigger than I ever asked the universe, I ever asked God for, I ever thought I could even have. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So long story short, I go upstairs to his dressing room and I hear his voice. I'm standing in a line waiting to meet him because there's other people waiting to meet him. And Sam and I are talking. That's his cousin. And he's telling me, yeah, you can meet him, you can take a picture, whatever. And I only had 2% on my phone left. 1 or 2%. It was very minimal. Literally, I could probably take one picture and the phone would shut off, right? And I'm like, oh my God, out of all times, why does this phone have to be almost dead? I can't prove to my friends that I really saw him and met him. God, please, I'm begging, please let this phone still work. So, long story short, I meet him and it was amazing. He probably doesn't remember me from crap. Well, I'll never forget that moment as long as I freaking live. That was the law of attraction. It was more than I asked for. It was better than I could ever have hoped or dreamt for. Meeting him, hugging him, he was such a sweet guy. So calm. And his voice was like ASMR, relaxing and stuff. And I'm not even into ASMR stuff, but I'm just telling you, he has the most soothing soul. When you meet him, he's so calm. And so sweet. Gave me a kiss on the cheek. And then when he took a picture with me, my heart, I was like, oh my Lord, I couldn't even believe it. And for me to make sure that it was real, I put my hand on him, on his stomach, because I wanted to feel his abs. And I'm literally rubbing him. I don't even know what he was thinking. Probably what a weirdo. Or maybe every woman does that. But anyway, that is my law of attraction, like, amazing story with Lenny Kravitz. What came from that? Well, Sam and I were friends for a couple of years. We've lost touch, but we've talked before. We went out to like a lunch and stuff like that. But it was an amazing experience. I'll just tell you that. And I'm sure Lenny Kravitz doesn't remember that, but I will never forget. I got to meet part of his family. I got to meet him. I got to enjoy the most amazing concert. And since then, I have gone to, oh my gosh, I want to say 4 more of his concerts. I went to one in New Orleans, one in Phoenix. Oh man, there was one more I just recently went to. Where was that concert? My gosh. I've been to 4 total, I want to say. Because it was the one in Miami, New Orleans, Phoenix. Oh my gosh, I just went. I don't remember. It was somewhere else. Oh, Lake Tahoe. Oh my God, that show was amazing. Let me just tell you, Lake Tahoe is beautiful. And Lake Tahoe, yeah, that was awesome. So Miami, Lake Tahoe, New Orleans, and Phoenix. It was awesome. It was amazing. And I want to thank Lenny. I don't know if he'll ever see this video, but Lenny, you really are an amazing human being, and I thank you so much for you always being authentic to yourself. No matter what has happened in your life, you have always remained this loving person, this kind person. And not everyone is that way. Like when you lose your mom or you lose someone special in your life, some people change and they get hardened, and their heart just gets mean and mean-spirited. But you've remained so happy and loving and kind, and I'm just astonished by your work. You have done so many amazing things for so many people. I find your the thing that you're doing for people with their dentistry, the Glow Foundation, that is so awesome. You giving back the way you have to the Bahamian people and just people in general. I've seen you do other things with UNICEF, with the water, and you're always thinking of other people, and that's what I feel life is about. And I'm so grateful that I got to share this story, because to me this could connect with someone else who has some hope or dream or wish or whatever. Let me just tell you, anything is possible if you believe it. You believe it, you'll receive it. It can come true. It will happen. But you can't have that doubting brain. There's so many people out there that doubt things. And once you bring that negative feeling in your spirit, you're screwed, okay? You've got to believe in order to receive. I'm so grateful that you watched this video. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And it makes me happy just like remembering that moment. I hope I didn't leave anything out, but for the most part, it was awesome. It was a dream to meet him. I met him. It was all about manifesting something so positive and uplifting, and through that, I've met people connected to him. Every time I've gone to other concerts, it's been amazing. The amazing amount of people. I haven't met him again, which is, a little sad, because I do feel like, he's my soulmate. No, he really is an amazing person. But I just feel like it's such an awesome feeling and a rewarding feeling to know that if you're a good person and you do good things come back to you.